been the Dog King, and today we're going to be reading scriptures in Abraham 1 through 2. I know we read 3 through 4 and 4 through 5 and 6 through 7 and stuff like that, but we're still reading 1 and 2. We have to read 1 and 2. I mean, if we haven't read 1 and 2, we need to read 1 and 2.
That's right. Yep, we're on the book of Abraham, chapters 1 and 2. So what have we learned up to this point this week?
About Abraham,
Uh-huh.
aka Abram,
Right.
and what? Sarah, aka what was it?
Sarai.
Sarai,
Uh-huh. So why did God have them change their names?
so they could be safe.
Because he made a covenant with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They made a covenant with him that they would honor and worship him and obey his commandments, and he would bless them beyond measure, right?
Still, Abram, I still don't see why he had to change the name Abraham.
I'm not sure. Maybe we'll learn a little bit about that today. We may have to do some research on the name Abraham versus Abram. So maybe we can look at that. But
We're not doing a game show here.
okay. All right, you want to start reading?
Hang on, I just want to see how many voices there are. Because we have 1 and we have 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want you to read chapter 1 and I'll read chapter 2.
Okay, so chapter 1 has 31 verses.
And chapter 2, I think, has 22.
Chapter 2 has 25. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so you want to start reading chapter 1?
No, you know what? I want you to read chapter 1.
Oh, you want me? Okay. Okay, let me see.
You got to be fast enough.
Okay, in the land of the Chaldeans, at the residence of my fathers, I, Abraham, saw that it was needful for me to obtain another place of residence. And finding there was greater happiness and peace and rest for me, I sought for the blessings of the fathers, and the right whereunto I should be ordained to administer the same, having been myself a follower of righteousness, desiring also to be one who possessed great knowledge, and to be a greater follower of righteousness, and to possess a greater knowledge, and to be a father of many nations, a prince of peace, and desiring to receive instructions, and to keep the commandments of God, I became a rightful heir, a high priest holding the right belonging to the fathers. That sounds like something that any of us could do if we wanted to be, he says, even a prince of peace. Who else do we know of that's a prince of peace?
God.
Yeah, Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we want to be more like Jesus and God, Jesus and Heavenly Father, we could do exactly what Abraham said here, right?
Yeah, and we're actually doing that. We're actually preaching the word.
That's right. Keep the commandments and become a high priest, right?
And we're preaching the words through these videos.
That's right. And he also says, possess great knowledge. Okay? So learn the things of God, right? So we can be like him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was conferred upon me from the fathers. It came down from the fathers from the beginning of time. Yea, even from the beginning or before the foundation of the earth, down to the present time. And we learned about that during the first week of studying the Old Testament, right? We learned about the war in heaven, and we learned about how we lived before. And so he's talking about that too, that he was set aside. That was his destiny, if you want to think of it that way. This is what he was born to do. Down to the present time, even the right of the firstborn, or the first man, who was Adam, or first father through the fathers unto me. I sought for mine appointment unto the priesthood according to the appointment of God unto the fathers concerning the seed. So he knew that it was his right to have the power of God, and that's what he seeks. Okay? My fathers, having turned from their righteousness and from the holy commandments which the Lord their God had given unto them, unto the worshipping of the gods of the heathen, utterly refused to hearken to my voice. But he's saying, that's not going to stop me, right? For their hearts were set to do evil, and were wholly turned to the god of Elkanah, and the god of Libnah, and the god of Mamacra, and the god of Korash, and the god of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Therefore they turned their hearts to the sacrifice of the heathen, and offering up their children unto the dumb idols. So child sacrifice, which is a horrible, horrible thing. And hearkened not unto my voice, but endeavored to take away my life by the hand of the priest of Elkanah. The priest of Elkanah was also the priest of Pharaoh. Now at this time it was the custom of the priest of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to offer up upon the altar which was built in the land of Chaldea, for the offering unto these strange gods, women, men, and children. Isn't that crazy? They were going to sacrifice on the altar. They were going to kill men, women, and children. And it came to pass that the priest made an offering unto the god of Pharaoh, and also unto the god of Shagriel, even after the manner of the Egyptians. Now the god of Shagriel was the sun. Even the thank offering of a child did the priest of Pharaoh offer upon the altar which stood by the hill, called Potiphar's hill, at the head of the plain of Alashem. Now this priest had offered upon this altar 3 virgins at one time. Those are young girls, who were the daughters of Onatah, one of the royal descent directly from the loins of Ham. These virgins were offered up because of their virtue, meaning they would not bow down to worship gods of wood or stone. They were holy girls. They were very good girls, pure girls. Therefore they were killed upon this altar, and it was done after the manner of the Egyptians. So because they wouldn't worship these gods, they had to lose their life, which was very sad. And it came to pass that the priests laid violence upon me, that they might slay me also, as they did those virgins upon this altar. And that you may have a knowledge of this altar, I will refer you to the representation at the commencement of this record. It was made after the form of a bedstead, such as was had among the Chaldeans, and it stood before the gods of Elkanah, Libnah, Makra, Korash, and also a god like unto that of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay, so let's go back a second. So we're going to go back and look at the introduction to the book of Abraham. Since when we started studying the Old Testament, we went right to chapter 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
So Abraham, if you remember, when he was in Egypt, and his wife went with him, and they initially wanted her to pretend she was his sister, because Sarah was very beautiful. And they told Pharaoh that she was his sister, and Pharaoh actually found out that she was his wife, and he got mad, and or was basically had the fear of God in him, because God put that fear in Pharaoh. And so Pharaoh was like, leave my house, this is your wife, I don't want to be in trouble with God.
Mom?
So yeah,
she's not beautiful, she's gorgeous.
oh really?
Gorgeous is more beautiful than beautiful.
Okay, all right, so
Are we starting chapter 2 yet?
Not yet.
When?
We're going back because we have to figure out where this is coming from. So we're going to kind of put some pieces together.
And I need to get a drink.
Okay. So the book of Abraham was translated, this book here, in what's called the Pearl of Great Price, from papyrus by Joseph Smith. So we are looking at all kinds of different scripture. Okay, remember last week we looked at the Apocrypha so that we could read from the book of Enoch about the giants. And this week we're looking again at the Pearl of Great Price. Okay, so it's a translation of some ancient records that have fallen into our hands from the catacombs of Egypt. So there was a man that was traveling through Ohio, and he was...
Joseph Smith.
No, this was a different man.
Oh.
And he was selling papyruses from the catacombs of Egypt. And Joseph Smith learned about him and went and purchased some of this papyrus, which is wonderful because it gives us more information about Abraham. So this is the writings of Abraham while he was in Egypt, called the Book of Abraham, written by his own hand upon papyrus.
Whoa, okay. That's crazy.
So then, as we saw earlier, Abraham this is when he's in Egypt, and he's trying to understand the blessings that he can receive through the patriarchal order of God. Okay? All right.
Okay, I understand now.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to skip back down to where we stopped. Verse 12, I think. No. Oh, we went up. Okay, so we went back and reviewed, because even Abraham said here in verse 12, and that you may have a knowledge of this altar, I will refer you to the representation at the commencement of this record. And I think he's talking about this. Okay, this is his drawing of what their sacrificial altar looked like. Okay?
Whoa.
And this is Abraham being tied down on that altar. The bird here represents the angel of the Lord, and the man is the idolatrous priest of Elkanah attempting to offer up Abraham as a sacrifice. Okay? And these are their other gods. Okay, so this is, I don't know if it's Abraham's drawing, but it's a representation of the sacrificial altar where they were killing men, women, and children, sacrificing them to their gods. Okay? All right, so 14. That you may have an understanding of these gods, I have given you the fashion of them into figures at the beginning, which manner of figures is called by the Chaldeans Ralinos, which signifies hieroglyphics. And as they lifted up their hands upon me, that they might offer me and take away my life, behold, I lifted up my voice unto the Lord my God, and the Lord hearkened and heard. And he filled me with the vision of the Almighty, and the angel of his presence stood by me, and immediately unloosed my bands. And his voice was unto me, Abraham, Abraham. Behold, my name is Jehovah, and I have heard thee, and have come down to deliver thee. I'm waiting for you, bud. Clinton's eating some snacks, so
I'm waiting for you.
it's loud. So he says, my name is Jehovah, I have heard thee, and have come down to deliver thee, and to take thee away from thy father's house, and from all thy kinsfolk into a strange land, which thou knowest not of.
Sorry, we have to get him.
And this because they have turned their hearts away from me to worship the god of Elkanah, and the god of Libnah, and the god of Mamachra, and the god of Korash, and of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Therefore I have come down to visit them, and to destroy him who hath lifted up his hand against thee, Abraham my son, to take away thy life. Behold, I will lead thee by my hand, and I will take thee to put upon thee my name, even the priesthood of thy father, and my power shall be over thee. As it was with Noah, so shall it be with thee, but through thy ministry my name shall be known in the earth forever, for I am thy God.
Oh, right. Verse 20. Behold, Potiphar's hill was in the land of Ur of the Chaldees. I know it's Chaldee. I just like saying Chaldees.
Okay.
And the Lord broke down the altar of Elkanah and the gods of the land, and utterly destroyed them, and smote the priest that he died. And there was great mourning in Chaldee, I'll say Chaldee that time. And also in the court of Pharaoh, right? Which Pharaoh signifies king by royal blood. Now this king of Egypt was a descendant from the lions of Ham, and was a partaker of the blood of the Canaanites by birth. From this descent sprang all the Egyptians, and thus the blood of the Canaanites was preserved in the land. And the land of Egypt being first discovered by a woman who was the daughter of Ham and the daughter of Egyptus, which in the Chaldean signifies Egypt, which signifies that which is forbidden. When this woman discovered the land, it was underwater, who afterwards settled her sons in it, and thus from Ham sprang that race, which preserved the curse in the land.
Okay, so who was Ham? Remember?
No.
He was a son of Noah. So.
Whoa, that's crazy!
Yep, so his wife, his daughter discovered Egypt, and it was underwater when she discovered it. Because remember, the earth had been flooded? The earth had been flooded. So when the water subsided, she went and settled herself and her sons in Egypt. Okay, and that's how it was
but where's her husband?
Established after the flood. Maybe she went, the husband was with her, I don't know, it doesn't say.
Or maybe she didn't have a husband, or her husband died.
No, yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay, so verse 25.
Now the first government of Egypt was established by Pharaoh, the eldest son of Egyptus. It's Egypt, not Egyptus.
Yep, sorry, I'm shaking the video right now. Hang on a second. Okay, now go ahead.
The daughter of Ham, and it was after the manner of the government of Ham, which was patriarchal. Pharaoh, being a righteous man, established his kingdom and judged his people wisely and justly all his days, seeking earnestly to imitate that order established by the fathers in the first generations, in the days of the first patriarchal region,
patriarchal reign,
even in the reign of Adam, and also of Noah, his father, who blessed him with the blessings of the earth and with the blessings of wisdom, but cursed him as pertaining to the priesthood.
Okay, so Pharaoh was trying to rule like Adam and Noah. He was trying to be righteous. Okay?
Okay. Now, Pharaoh being of that lineage by which he could not have the right of priesthood, notwithstanding the pharaohs would fain claim it from Noah. Through Ham, therefore my father was led away by their Idolatry.
Idolatry.
Idolatry. Wait, idolatry.
Worshipping idols.
But I shall endeavor hereafter to delineate the chronology, running back from myself to the beginning of the creation. For the records have come unto my hands, which I hold unto this present time. Now, after the priest of Elkanah was smitten, that he died, there came a fulfillment of those things which were said unto me concerning the land of Chaldees, that there should be a famine in the land. Accordingly, a famine prevailed throughout all the land of Chaldees. And my father was sorely tormented because of the famine, and he repented of the evil which he had determined against me to take away my wife.
Boy.
But the records of the fathers, even the patriarchs, concerning the right of priesthood, the Lord my God preserved in mine own hands. Therefore, a knowledge of beginning of the creation, and also of the planets and of the stars, as they were made known unto the fathers, were made known of me. I kept even unto this day, and I shall endeavor to write some of these things upon this record of the benefit of my posterity that shall come after me.
Okay. So remember, in the first week of our reading of the Old Testament, we started with Abraham chapter 3, right? And that's where he talks about the sun and the moon and the stars. And we learned about Kolob.
Yeah, that's why.
And Kokau-beam and all those things, right?
That's why it skipped, because it went with Genesis.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay.
We're going to read chapter 2 tomorrow.
Yep.
I'm so excited. So, hope you like this video. Hope you like that video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Ding, 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 so you do not miss another video. And bye-bye.